Good afternoon. My name is Austin Scott, and this is my project for Dr. Zakiri's class, Sociology. And here is just my intro to give you an overview of what I did throughout the video. And basically, I went around the community of Tuskegee, found older gentlemen, older people of age, interviewed them, asked them the questions that was asked to give, questions about the love and race relationships, as well as making sure single parenthood, what I'm saying, thinking about how single parenthood affects certain things, how these different love relationships affect certain things, comparing and contrasting whether or not love was different back then or same now. So I went around the city of Tuskegee, multiple sites. You can see I went to McDonald's, couple of scenes. I was in AutoZone, outside standing around. And one thing I can say is I really appreciated this assignment because it gives me a chance to kind of interact with other people that don't just necessarily go to Tuskegee, just people that live in Tuskegee in general. So going out there, I'm seeing how people live, seeing how people, use their everyday life around here. And it was really interesting meeting some of the folks that I did and just hearing what they had to say to all these questions because as you already know, I have my own answers to these questions myself. I felt the need that I needed to answer them before I felt the need to go out there and interview them. So I went out, answered my own questions, then I went out and asked them the same questions, and I feel like they gave me great responses, and it was just so awesome to me to see that there's actually other people in other walks of life, not just people that go to college, because not everybody goes to college, not everybody even graduates high school. So it's definitely some people that I met today, and it's definitely some people that really have changed my life and changed my outlook on life. As you can see, you're gonna see later. It's a couple of gentlemen that really gave me some good advice on love. They really broke down love and broke down the ideas of love and whether or not that love really affects us socially as Black people. And honestly, I feel like it does. If you don't mind, I'm gonna answer some of the questions myself. I feel like I feel like love when it comes to Black communities in today's world is not at the same height that it used to be. It's not at the same level that it used to be because as you can see now you got the divorce rates going up, single parent households, that's coming becoming more and more of a thing. And that's not doing anything but harming our children. And that's harming the generation below us because those are children that have to grow up without having both parents. And as you can see in the video, I've talked to a few people that said that they were single parents themselves, including the Mexican American man who is also part African American because his mother was Black. So I also wanted to tell you that. But yeah, it's a lot of people. Just because you don't live in a single parent household, you don't live in a double parent household, doesn't really necessarily mean that you're just saw that to have a bad life. It's just definitely it weighs and has an effect on you growing up. Next to your friends that may have a double parent household and you're growing up with a single parent household. So those are really some key features that I can really tell you about in the video, and I really just hope you appreciate it. I really appreciate the assignment opportunity. Like at first, it's kind of you look at it like, oh my gosh, it's an assignment that I have to do that's gonna take a long time. It's gonna require gas money. It's gonna require, getting out of your comfort zone and doing something that you don't want to do. But I feel like I really use that to my advantage because the days that I use and spent interviewing really opened my eyes, honestly. Like I really feel like I have a different outlook on life and I have a different outlook on love, of course, just because of the fact, I'm talking to these people. So, anyways, I don't want to bother you too much, but just enjoy the video. Please let me know if there was any problems or anything that you had, accessing or watching the video. But it shouldn't be any problems. I'm pretty sure I did everything pretty well. But without further ado, I'm gonna let the people that I interviewed do the talking. I just wanted to give you this little intro, to let what the video holds and why the project meant so much to me. So, could you give me your definition of love? It's in your own words. You can just sum it up.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out how could I put that. Huh?
No.
Just keep it moving.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Just in your own word, what is love to you?
I call you people back.
Huh?
You talk to me,
Yeah.
and you talk to my dad too.
Like a back
So you say affection? Okay. So why do you feel that people? He good. He good. Okay, so look, why do you feel that people get divorced?
They have problems.
No,
Lack of attention.
two fools, we don't understand how they get divorced.
Okay. You got a definition of love? You got a definition of love you want to give? What's your definition of love?
Two fools misunderstand.
Okay. Two fools misunderstand. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more question for you. One more. Now, why do you feel like single parenthood is a thing?
I can answer that.
Okay.
But more single parents is a thing because in black people,
Mm-hmm.
I can say in black people,
Right.
because we're stronger. We feel like we're stronger when we can do it. We can
Right.
do it.
Right. I see what you're saying. We feel like we're stronger, so we feel like we can do it by ourselves. We don't
Right.
really
We
need
don't
no
need no
help.
help.
We don't really need no help.
Right.
I can understand that.
We don't put up the face. We don't put up the foot like
Right. Right. That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
That ain't no.
You got a reason?
Cause daddy haul legs, yo. You got single parent, mama, baby, daddy, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Daddy be gone. Mama don't give a damn what you do. You go out there and blow the president up. Mama still gonna be right there with you.
Mama
That's
still gonna
still
be
my
right there.
baby.
Yeah,
I got a bone
Mama
with you.
still gonna be with
She
you.
got that bone in her stomach with you. She immune to you.
You're right. You're right.
I was single parent.
Okay. Okay. Right.
We are
You can
strong.
tell it.
We're a bit stronger than most.
Daddy gone.
Right.
More women.
Daddy want
Most
daddy.
of them, yeah, we are.
Daddy don't want to do nothing for the kid because he can't have mom.
Right, that's what it
Kids,
is.
you know what I'm saying?
That's what it
Leave
is.
that to the store, those real like
That's what it
that.
is.
Get to this world because of men, they down. They don't step up and take responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But see, my mama, that light come on, had to be at home.
Right. Right. Just us. Just us.
Right.
Just us.
Man, neighborhood, that's why I get all the shooting. You ain't got the folks, you do whoop the children, the neighborhood, you
Right.
come home and daddy and mom was together. Mama gonna whoop you, and daddy get home, she gonna tell you, don't tell granddad, that 3 whooping in one day.
That's how it
That's
goes.
too many brother, but they ain't raised the kid. Kid have a kid, nothing.
Well,
They
thank
ain't
y'all for
doing
taking y'all
it.
time to answer my questions. You know what I'm saying? I really, really appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Te voy a hacer una pregunta, ok. Vaya.
Okay. All right. So, most couples say that they love their spouse. What do you consider to be the definition of love?
Ok, muchas personas dicen que aman mucho, pero ¿cuál es tu definición? Se está grabando. ¿Cuál es tu definición de amor?
Pero es que es difícil porque como lo
You say it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
se puede ser por la comprensión y el apoyo de uno contra los otros.
You say, I don't know how to explain to you, but you say like, is he can show the how you can comprehend the other people, the other person, and how you can tell him the other person.
So being able to bond, you know what I'm saying, and coincide with another person. Okay. If you feel that's the way about love, why do you feel people get divorced?
Si vos sentís que eso es una, ¿cómo se llama? Como un camino del amor, ¿por qué vos creéis que las personas se divorcian?
Yo creo que las personas se divorcian porque diferentes caminos podría ser, diferentes caminos. Cuando los dos no están en sintonía o los dos no tienen las mismas metas o los mismos caminos, pues no, pues por eso.
Okay, you say sometimes the people they don't think in the same way.
Right.
They have different thinking, you know, and they are separate. So,
So it doesn't really blend.
blend.
Basically, what you're saying is, you know, most people ain't always on the same page. They usually disagree, you know, on certain things, and that's why divorce tends to happen. Okay, now my last question: why do you feel like single parenthood is a thing? Why do you think that has come about? And why do you think it's such a single parenthood, like having only one mother or having only one father? Why do you feel like that happens so often?
And the kids have just one.
Mm-hmm.
¿Qué pensáis vos cómo se puede sentir una persona cuando tiene o una sola madre o un solo padre?
De decirle que yo no tengo problema con eso porque mi mamá pues me crió a mí solo y pues simplemente trabajó y luchó por mí y por darme todo lo que yo necesitaba siempre y cuando yo entendiera el esfuerzo que ella hacía para comprarme o para adquirir todo lo que ella me daba a mí.
Okay, he say he can talk in his own experience because he grew up with his mom.
Right.
And he say every time he saw when his mother do a lot of job and a lot of things to make him happy, and he appreciate the effort that his mom did it on the long time to he grow.
Okay. So basically, what you're saying is that, you know, he can speak personally on his experience because of the fact that he grew up with only a single mother, and he feels that because of that, it was able to give him a lot of love and attention for himself to bring him up in the future. All right, y'all, appreciate it. Appreciate it for the help. Appreciate you. I appreciate you for the help. All right, my name is Austin, and I'm here with Albert Lee. All right, nice to meet you. So the subject today we have is love. And the first question I have for you is, what is your definition of love in your own words?
Caring about someone.
Okay, caring about someone. Okay. Okay. So now that you say you give your own definition of love, why do you think some people get divorced?
Because they don't have trust and honesty.
No trust, honesty. Okay. Now, in your words, what is the reasoning for the increasing spike of divorce? Why do you think more and more people are getting divorced every day?
Affairs and falling out of love with the person.
Yeah, affairs for sure. Okay. Okay, one of my last questions. Single parenthood, why do you feel like it is important, and why do you feel like it happens so often?
Well, you know, once the love is gone, you know, people move on.
Right.
You know, so you know what it is.
Right. And my last question, what do you think that single parenthood has an effect on? Like, how do you feel like it's hurting or improving the youth?
It's hurting because, you know, most times the mother talks against the father because they be together and all that. So, and it could be vice versa, but, you know, mainly because they're getting the kid here. Oh, your dad ain't shit.
Yeah.
This and that. So, you know, you gotta give your child a chance to know their father and mother and stuff. You never take a parent out of the kid out, especially if they trying to be there.
Right.
Most women and men, they try to
All right, appreciate you for your time. I know you gotta go to work. All right, nice to meet you. My name is Austin Scott, and I'm here with Jay. All right, nice to meet you, Jay. I just got a couple questions about love for you. So I can really start out by asking, what is your definition of love in your own words? Yeah.
I mean, respect, careful, you know, faithful, honest.
Respectful, honesty,
Yeah.
faithful. Okay. Now, if you feel like so many people so-called love in this world, why do you feel like so many people get divorced?
Infidelity, money,
Money.
really money for main one, man, for real, financial reasons.
Financial reasons, money. Okay. Why do you feel like so many people get remarried in today's world?
Remarried, lot of them say they found the right one, but I mean, yeah, that'd be the main reason. It didn't work out with the last one, so yeah, it probably would work out with this one.
Right. And do you feel like there's an increase in that happening now as we go, or you feel like that's decreasing?
A decrease. Ain't nobody really get married no more.
Right. People just kind of getting together and not married, and just doing their own little thing. So also, what I wanted to ask you is, how do you feel about single parenthood? Why do you feel like that's harming or benefiting the children of today?
It's harming them more than anything, man. And a lot of them really. It's for me, it's being down here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them is harming them really because the government got their hand in it. You know, because with child support and all that.
Right.
And a lot of them get government assistance, so you know, it's really harming them more than ever.
Right. That's a good answer. All right, I got one more question for you. So we face a lot of problems in America because of race. And do you feel like with the events that's happening today, do you feel like they are benefiting black people or taking black people down?
Really the same, man. They ain't really up nor down. You know, it really ain't nothing ever changed. Tell you the truth. Because ain't no new rules came out to protect us other than gun law. Right. And that's really harming us because now everybody got pistols.
Everybody,
Yeah, so it really always been the same.
Well, I thank you for your questions. I really appreciate it.
All right, man.
Thank you for talking to me. You ready? So my name is Austin Scott, and I'm here with
Darnell Moore.
Darnell Moore. Nice to meet you, Mr. Moore. Now, my first question for you is, a lot of people in this world say that they love each other, but what is your definition of love?
You know, your feelings, how you feel about a person and stuff like that. You know, I had no problem with it. You love everybody.
Do you feel like love today is the same as it used to be back in the day, or do you feel like it's changed?
Well, it changed. It's so bad. But usually, you know, they're not committed as they were, you know, 100 years ago. And I've been married for my wife since 1965.
Okay, congratulations.
So we're still together.
Right.
We have 3 children, all of them grown. And we still there. We still.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
There.
That's definitely different from today's world, because you know today, you know, people seem to get married and just get remarried and remarried. So how do you feel about this whole remarriage situation? How do you feel about that?
Well, probably they wasn't in love to start with. Right. You know, they had a little affair and a little flame, and then they gone and sit there. You know, nothing sustain it. You know, lasts a long time and stuff.
So along with all this love, it also tends to be a lot of divorce. Yeah. Why do you feel like this divorce seems to happen?
Well, probably the same reason they got married.
Remarried.
You know, maybe. You know, just, you know, see something else they want to do and stuff there, and that's how it goes. You know, not committed and stuff there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And also, there's a rise of single parenthood. Single parenthood has always been a thing, but it seems now that it's kind of going on an uprise. Why do you feel like that happens, and what do you feel like can stop that?
Well, start with most of the time when they get married, they, you know, most children they already have children before they even get married and stuff. You know, they have these affairs and then all of a sudden they say, I got to get married. Then next 2 or 3 days, I got to get a divorce. And shit there. You know, that's not, you know, they're not committed to each other and stuff there. And that's when we got a lot of, you know, single parents, children raising children and stuff there.
How do you feel like that affects the children that are raised in single parent households?
It probably affects them. Probably affects them a lot. Because they don't have, you know, their mother and father stuff that they could deal with and stuff there.
Right. All right. One of my last questions for you is, do you feel like a child that was raised in a single household, do you feel like they would have a different life than a child that was raised in a household with both parents?
Well, it depends on the child itself and stuff there, you know, motivation,
You know, I was taught, you know, when it was taught how that one. But the individual, it depends on the individual, actually. I don't think, raising parents, single parents or parents, with two parents. If he's gonna, do good, he's gonna do good. If he's gonna do bad, he's gonna do bad.
Absolutely. I appreciate you talking to me, and congratulations on your relationship. It's definitely something that you don't see too much in today's world.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you talking to me. Hey, now sorry to interrupt the video, but I don't know if you were really paying attention, or I don't know if you really heard exactly what he said, but he said that he was in a relationship with his wife for over 65 years. They've been married, and they've been together living happily for nearly a century. Now, this is the turning point in my interview process that I realized that the love of today is not really like the love of back in the day. This war veteran that I interviewed had really told me that he had been married with his wife since 1965. And that is really, honestly, absolutely insane. And it's not good that it's insane. That should be normal. That should be the norm. But the fact that it's not the norm clearly shows you that the love that we have today is nowhere near comparable to the love that was had, back in the past. And I really just wanted to stop and make sure that you heard that before you went along with the video. But hopefully you're enjoying the video right now, as far as you are. I still got some more interviews to go. So just keep in tune and have a good day. My name is Austin Scott, and I'm here with Ron Vieira. How you doing? All right, so my first question for you is, what's your definition of love in your own words?
Love is a feeling. You can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it.
Okay, that's a good answer. Okay, how do you feel like the definition of love has changed from back in the day until today?
Ask me that one more time.
How do you feel the definition of love has changed from back in the day to today? Like, you feel like the love that was back in the day is different than what we love now?
It's a whole lot different. It's a whole lot different because a lot of our ancestors are gone, and our ancestors are gone, and they ain't, we don't come together like we used to. Cause Big Mama keep the family together. She gone now, you feel me?
Right.
So she is not.
Oh, you good?
Oh, but,
real life.
Okay, but now it's due to the fact that a lot of our ancestors gone, family done broke apart,
Right.
and the love broke. It ain't like it used to be.
Okay. So you feel like some of these people out here, they say they love each other, but they starting to get divorced more and more. Why do you feel like people starting to get divorced?
Because they in it for the wrong thing. Every marriage don't even last, 36 months.
Right.
12 months. Into the marriage, they get a what? A little boy. So they in it for the what? Wrong thing.
Wrong reason, for sure. Also, a problem in the community we got is single parenthood. How do you feel like? Do you feel like single parenthood is hurting or harming the children?
Well, it's good and bad. I just can't say that single parenting is hurting the kid because guess what? I had a single parent, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in a single home. My daddy raised me. You see what I'm saying? So I can't say that.
And the last question I got for you is, as African Americans in the world today, we go through a lot of race relations, a lot of, we got a lot of things happening to us. What do you feel like? What steps you feel like we could take to limit our oppression and stuff like that? How do you feel like we can come on top? Because we've been held down by the white man for so long.
I ain't gonna say we ain't gonna be able to come on top because anything is possible. But for one, what's holding us back from getting on top is that we as black people don't have no unity. And that's the number one key to get on top. We don't have no unity.
No unity. All right, it's nice talking to you.
Right.
For real.
Nice to meet you too, bro.
Appreciate you. Now, in contrast of the other elderly gentleman that had gave his outside of love, where he had the love that had lasted for over nearly a century. This man gave me a sort of outlook on love that was kind of interesting and new to me. He actually talked about how that the big mama in the family, or as you would call the big grandma, or just the overall head of the household that just was just so loving and so nurturing. I can say that was my grandmother on my dad's side for us. She definitely had a house. She had foster children that she loved like they were all her own. She had grandchildren that she loved. She had children. Everybody and anybody was welcome in her house at any time. And you best believe she was going to cook you some pound cake or some red velvet cake or anything you ever wanted. Now, when he explained this whole Big Mama theory to me, it really opened my eyes because I never thought about how much of the love and the cherishment that I really got from being around that big mother figure. And I feel like that's actually a thing that, sorry, I feel like that's actually a thing that's not, I can't say it's not relevant anymore, but it's not really heard of. It's not too many people that have a big mama in their life where they can just come and fellowship and just really just relax and really take in all the love possible. It's been about 7 years since my grandma passed, so that whole idea for me is definitely gone now. But I'm glad I was old enough to experience it, and I was I was knowledgeable enough to know what was going on while she was here, and I was able to take in all that love, take in all that cherishment, and apply it to my life actually. And I never really realized how much we really could apply that to our lives, as all that love and all that empowerment is instilled in us at a young age, or instilled in us as we're growing up to become older and adults. So that love that comes from them, or that comes from that big mother figure, or that comes from the family that surrounds her, that he speaks about, is really a love that cannot be mimicked. It's an uncomparable love. It's a love that cannot be compared. Not to love from back in the day, not to love from today. It is its own separate love that is really love to begin with, though. So you got to think about it. It's definitely different viewpoints of love, different levels, different islands of love. It's not love. It's not all just one condensed thing. You understand? So I just wanted to give you a mental note that really right there also, along with that old man, opened my eyes, because it really showed me a whole new sight of love that I wasn't really even taking account for. So it's still some more interviews to watch. I just wanted to make that little side note. Keep enjoying watching. So you've made it through the end of the video. Hopefully you've seen and came out just as enlightened as I did when I first watched the video back myself. When I first watched the video back for myself, I was really first in shock of what I had accomplished. I really didn't think I was going to be able to pull this through. I know it's an assignment you've probably given before, but as for me, when it comes to stepping outside my comfort zone, and when it comes to doing things I don't really want to do, sometimes it can be a bother. Sometimes it can be really bickering for me. So I was just really shocked. I wasn't really shocked, but I was glad to say that I could have finished the video and, kept up like I wanted to. But as you've seen, it's a lot of people that live a lot of different lives. A lot of people with a lot of various different life outcomes. As you can see, I had, the one guy that was a construction worker, and he grew up in a single parent household, black mother, but it had Mexican family. So you can imagine how hard that could have been on him. Anything from the ridicule he might have heard at school or anything like that. Growing up without a parent that's, is really beneficial to a child. And as you can see, he said that it didn't stop him from doing what he wants to do. It didn't stop him from, achieving the goals that he wanted to achieve. So I give kudos to him, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people out here that realize, they think that since they don't have two parents, that they really can't do what a two-parent household person can do. Also, I got some great insight about divorce. A lot of people that I talked to had a lot of strong feelings about divorce. They all said that divorce is a steady uprising problem that we have today in the world. And I honestly agree, because now all you really see is people getting divorced. It was one man that I had talked to that had a marriage going on for 65 years. Now that right there was the prime example that I needed to let me know that the love that we had shared back in the day, well, I can't say we, but the love that humans and African Americans really had back in the day, even 60s, 70s, was completely different from the love that we share today. Because as you can see, I also had another person that was actually freshly divorced. He had been remarried a few times. And that was really a good comparison and contrast. It really showed me that you can really look at somebody from the past and see that their love life was just completely different than the love life today. And even when I discuss the love life of today, the love life of today and the love life of tomorrow are going to be two completely different things. So there's no wondering what's to expect in the future. There's no telling. Like as you can see in the past, it was a strong love that, you know, really you knew your person, y'all courted together, y'all were always together, y'all married, y'all are gonna stick together, do your finances together, you know, file taxes together, go to the grocery store together. You're gonna do all of these things, all these relationship binding things. But as you can see in today's world, all that stuff tries to dip away. You got mothers that feel that they need to go to the grocery store, fathers that feel like they don't need to go to the grocery store. That's a main discrepancy right there. Like the less time that y'all spend together in a relationship is really dependent on how y'all feel with each other to begin with. And that's really why people are getting unmarried, getting divorced now, because who they thought was their lifelong partner, or who they thought was their soulmate, or who they thought was the best person for them, eventually, after living with them for a while, tends to be that that's not the case. And that points back to another point that I had. Living together without being married. Now, back in the day, as you can see, I talked to one man, he told me that back in the day, that living together without being married was just something that was not going to be had. Whether that was told by the mother of the household or the father of the household, any courtship that was not with married is not allowed. And that just was not a big issue because parents were so set and stern about it. But now in today's world with the younger generation, you got these new parents, you know, they got these new ideas, these new ideologies, and they're trying to bring them on. They're trying to bring them on to this new generation. So this new generation, they feel the need that it's okay to live together and not get married. They feel like it's okay to have kids, to even have kids together and not get married. It's a lot of relationships now where they have children involved and that the parents are not married. And I can speak from personal experience because I am one of them children. My mother and father were together. They were not married, but they had me, and I'm here, and I'm still a great person. But it really would have been a lot better, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't even say it would be a lot better, but it would be a more stable situation if I was able to maintain a relationship with both of my parents at the same time. And I can say now that I do, but I can do that because I'm grown now, and I can go out on my own and speak to my father, go out on my own and speak to my mother to make sure that our relationships are still intact as they should be, regardless of what they did when they were younger. But enough about me. I hope you enjoyed my project. Like I said, this was really eye-opening for me. Like this really just gave me a new outlook on life and love and race relations and divorce and just all these social problems, yet economical problems. They really shed some light on it to me, and I feel like now in the future I will really be careful about who I really, you know, share my courtship with. And of course, you know, I'm not going out here going willy-nilly on the courtship, you know, but I feel like, you know, in the future, I would really step up my game. I would really crack down and make sure that I'm not doing something that's not supposed to be done, such as courtship without marriage, or having kids out of wedlock, or even having a kid and leaving the mother behind to take care of it herself. Like that's not something that I should want my kid to live in. It's not something that I should want to be a part of. So thank you for this opportunity to do this video and do this project. It was a great class with you this semester. I really appreciate you for teaching me everything, and that's it.